because we're kind of hitting off the mark here. This is an important kind of zone, as I showed I think previously in the but I'll show it again because that's how I roll. As you can see, just an important zone here. We had a lot of volume through here. Obviously, price is getting up there. We're seeing quite a bit of volume positive. This is a good point to kind of break out, and it looks like a good trade. I'll just try and stay with it the whole trade, even if I don't have anything to say. Just so you can watch what I'm watching. You know, I could fast forward to the end, but that's kind of taking the thrill out. So you can kind of feel what I'm kind of feeling, which is probably what you guys want. You want kind of the real experience of trading, not just the in here on this end of day chart and exit here and you make a lot of money. You want to see what it's like to actually be in the front lines and experiencing these bars flickering back and forth and what they all mean and how you decode all this stuff. So I'll just stick around here, and if need be, I'll divide the video into 2 sections. I don't know if that will be necessary. Yeah, just a waiting game at the moment. Probably asking about profit targets. I didn't say anything about that. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I'm thinking at least, of course, it'll make a high. So I'm thinking at least, 25 ticks. It's kind of my minimum floor. So if you want to think of profit targets, like I usually have stops. I like to keep a hard stop, more of a psychological thing. But in terms of profit taking, I'm looking for at least this. But it could be a lot more than that. So we're just going to wait and see. See how much volume we're going to hit. I mean, I might just hold it. I might hold it for a couple of hours. Obviously, I'll have to pause it if I'm going to hold it after the breakout, after a point, and show you what it's like to let a winner run. But if I do, I'll stop it and I'll come back and show you when I do take the profits. But at the very least, I'm going to show you how I would react. So far, it's looking pretty good. Volume's kind of deteriorating, which is not a bad thing at this stage. I mean, we're just kind of in a waiting game at this stage. See a little pop there, the volume. Looks good on this too. This is what I'm watching at the moment. As you can see here, look at how it's popping up in the green here as well, not just here. So that's usually a good sign here. We won, and we've still got 53 seconds left on the bar. So we are seeing a pop in this kind of range here, and that's what we want to be seeing. As you can see, it's deteriorating now. It'll fluctuate a bit, of course. That's how it works. It fluctuates a little bit. Everything's a fractal. As you can see here, going down a bit again, but that's okay. We want there to be some form of rejection. typing in some stuff, talking to people on that. So we've made 11 ticks. Well, made inverted commas. I'm not exactly going to take profits right now. Just going to play the waiting game. Okay, here's an example of how I could be wrong but be right. It's probably the coolest part about trading. You can reverse the theory I was talking about, where you can be right but wrong because you still make a losing trade even though you're right. It could get up to this point here, this 42 mark here, and the price could reject. And we could see like a huge down spike, and like an up with less volume. This to me signals a good time that maybe the market's having second thoughts about pushing it higher. I could exit at that point, maybe making like 12, 13 ticks off the trade, exit, and even though I was wrong about the exact risk reward ratio I was looking for, that kind of stuff, I was still right in the sense that I made money. And there's nothing better than that. I mean, I had a bad trade and I still made money. So think about that. If you can work out in your system how you can do that, make those kind of trades where you can be wrong but still be right, you're going to be an exceptional person. It's difficult because the human mind is not trained to kind of look at charts that way. You've got to practice it. You've got to look for these opportunities, because you're not going to be thinking of them. You've got to completely rewire what you're thinking on the screen. And it's not rocket science, like I've just showed you before. It's if it can't get past here and we're seeing all this stuff happening, well then, yeah, I mean, we're going to look to get out. But it's not that easy. I mean, sometimes some people hold trades too long, and it's when you talk about all that psychological bullshit that goes on. And you know when they talk about I hold the trade too long, it's when they needed to have that kind of a plan where they can say that about the market. And if they can't say that, then, maybe have reconsiderations about the trade and that kind of thing. But anyway,